Hey Art, how you doing?
Doing all right, Jeff. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to talk about today's topic because I just saw something that said 1 of 3 Californians are on Medicaid, which means today's topic is so relevant to so many people just in the state of California. I can't wait to get into it. But I understand there's some concerns about this particular type of loan. Can you share with me what you're thinking of, like, hey, people, when you say reverse mortgage, they're like, can you tell me your thoughts on that?
Yeah. It's interesting for all the years I've been in the business. Now, I'll tell you, reverse mortgages way back several decades ago, they were imperfect, maybe not as good, certainly not as good as they are now. But I've often said that reverse mortgages, even today, are probably the most feared and most misunderstood mortgage product in the industry. And it doesn't need to be that way. So my hope and goal is here to try to clarify some of these misconceptions and help people realize, as I'll say Tom Selleck always says on his commercials, it's a loan like any other. It does work a little bit differently, but it's a loan, just like your existing first mortgage. That's all a reverse mortgage is. It just behaves differently. And frankly, it behaves in a way that's supposed to help senior homeowners who are facing maybe some financial distress or maybe need some supplements to their income. That's really what it's all about. So that's what we're going to try to help people understand today. And I have some personal experience with this. I'll tell you real quick. My dad back in 2006, he was a homeowner, owns a home in Fontana, had a modest mortgage on it, about $125,000, costing him almost $1,000 a month. He had a little bit of an investment account that he had when he inherited from his parents. And I found out he was dipping into that for living expenses because he was on very limited income. He only had Social Security and a very small pension. But then I also found out that he was paying extra on his mortgage. And I thought, well, that's odd. On the one hand, you're complaining about having to pull some of your investment account to live on, and yet you're paying extra on the mortgage. I challenged him, why are you doing that? And he says, well, I'm trying to pay down the mortgage so I can create more equity so that when I get old, there'll be more equities for you and your brother and sister to, tap into to help take care of me. And I said, well, understand your focus there, but there's a better way to do it. So I presented him with the reverse mortgage. Again, this is back in 2006. He was 80 years old. And, he's a smart guy, mechanical engineer. Initially, he was skeptical. So I took some time. You have to go slow and be methodical and address every concern. Finally did that. We went ahead and arranged the loan for him. It did a couple of important things. It paid off his existing mortgage, so he eliminated $1,000 a month in mortgage payment. And then in addition, which we'll touch on in a minute, he chose to get the balance of that reverse mortgage that was available to him and set up a monthly check that he receives for his lifetime, which was also almost $1,000. So by closing that loan, and of course we did it in 2006 at the peak of the market when his home value had gone up quite a bit, he was able to have a $2,000 swing in his monthly cash flow, which allowed him to be able to continue owning the home and be much more comfortable in terms of his living expenses. He didn't have to tap into his investment account. It worked out very well. And he continued to get that check for 14 years. I mean, he made it till 1994 before he passed away. I'm not sorry. He made it to 94 in 2020 when he passed away. So for 14 years, he got that check. And it was a great help to him. So I have personal experience with that. So.
Well, with that story, which is amazing, that this is an instrument that you have full knowledge of, that your father was really acting like, and forgive me, I don't mean this disrespectfully, he was acting like the I would say the average person out there when they hear reverse mortgages, like that's probably a bad idea because
Right.
I'm going to lose my home, or I'm going to live on the street and things like that. But that's just simply not true, is it? When that happens.
It's not true. And yeah, he had the same preconceived notions that a lot of senior homeowners have. And I was able to successfully address all those concerns to the point where he was comfortable going forward. And, not long after we did it and he started getting those checks, he had that mortgage payment paid off. He came back to me and said, you know what, I was wrong. And he was very thankful for my advice and help to get his financial situation improved. So that he could live comfortably and enjoy his, the balance of his years. So it was really a good outcome.